Hello and welcome to our next video. This kingdom is numbered. The writing is on the wall, and we are going to see that this kingdom is indeed numbered. Now let's begin. What numbers? This kingdom is numbered. What numbers are we talking about? Let's look at a screenshot from an online Bible. This is Daniel 5:26. You'll see here this is the interlinear. So it has the original Hebrew right there. Then you have the English, which it was translated into, and then you have the numbers. The numbers are the Strong's numbers assigned to the words so that you can look them up. It's an index. So each root word in the Bible has a Strong's number attached to it. In the New Testament as well, we see that this is written in Greek is the New Testament. The English is translated there with the numbers as well. Now these numbers are designated G. So that one is G3650 because it's Greek. The other numbers were H for Hebrew, H6591. Now we look at this and we'll see that some numbers match. So there are in this example 4483 occurs in both verses. H4483 from Daniel, and then we look at Matthew, that would be G4483 because it's Greek, it's in the New Testament. So we see that these words are numbered and you can look them up with ease. So we're looking at the Strong's numbers. What are Strong's numbers? Now this is an index. How did this come about? The books of the Bible, all the books of the Bible, imagine them on a bookshelf, all the books of the Bible. The Old Testament on one side, the New Testament on another. Now this is written, the New Testament was written in Greek, the Old Testament written in mainly Hebrew and a little Aramaic. So we could separate these up into the New Testament and the Old Testament. So we have all the words in the New Testament and all the words in the Old Testament. Now what we want to do is just take all the words out and index them, just organize all the words. So imagine if we just emptied out all the words from the Old Testament and all the words from the New Testament, all the root words, all the root words, all the root words from those testaments, and just emptied them all out. Just imagine that. So all the words have been emptied out. A pile of Old Testament words and a pile of New Testament words. So what do we do with this pile of words? Well, we have to organize it. So the best way to organize it is to put it in alphabetical order. So James Strong and his group of people went ahead and put the words in alphabetical order, and alphabetized by Hebrew, alphabetized by Greek. Now, once they're alphabetized, we still need a way to look them up. Chances are we don't speak Hebrew, we don't speak Greek. So what did he do? The words were assigned numbers. They were alphabetized and then assigned a number for reference. This is an index, so they assign numbers so that we may look them up. The Hebrew words had an H, a prefix of an H before the number, and the Greek words had a G prefix before the number. We see again that some words share numbers. H4483 has the same number, 4483, as G4483. These words are just alphabetized, basically a stack of alphabetized and numbered words. So of course there will be quite a few that share the same number because there's going to be a first Greek word, there's going to be a first Hebrew word, there's going to be a fifth Greek word, there's going to be a fifth Hebrew word. These would match. At some point they no longer match because there are as many more Hebrew words than Greek words. So they don't all match, but a large portion of these words share numbers. They are numbered together, one with an H and one with a G. So now we see the Strong's numbers. One list for the Old Testament, one list for the New Testament. These two indexes, an H index for Hebrew, Aramaic, Old Testament, a G index for the New Testament, Greek, these lists should have nothing to do with each other. They are written by different authors, different prophets, I should say, all through the Word of God, but they are written by different prophets in centuries apart from each other. They should not have anything to do with each other. They should not correspond. They should not work together towards anything. The numbers themselves should just be two indexes put together randomly in the order the words happen to be in the Bible. But we know that this is the Word of God and things are not random. And He has put a sign in His Word. He has put a sign of fire in His Word. Thy kingdom is numbered. I say thy kingdom is numbered. That is the writing on the wall. So let's look at that from Daniel. And this, the writing that was written, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. This, the interpretation of the thing, Mene, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. The writing on the wall, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. The writing on the wall for Babylon is what we just read, and this is the writing on the wall for our kingdom as well. The same word, the same God, it is the same meaning. Thy kingdom has been numbered. God hath numbered thy kingdom, and he has numbered this kingdom. So let's look at it. Numbered, the word numbered, H4483, Mina, set, ordained, numbered. This kingdom has been numbered because H4483 goes with G4483. It is connected by Strong's number, 4483. One is H, one is G, the Greek. Numbered shares the strong. Numbered is numbered with the word reo. Reo means to pour forth, to utter. It is spoken. It has to do with the prophets of God speaking his word. God pouring forth his word, his message, his word through his prophets. That is what that word means. That is what the word that is numbered with the word numbered on the writing on the wall, specifically having to do with God pouring his word through his prophets. As we see, a couple of spoken, said, commanded is how it is translated, and we see from Matthew, all this was done that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, and then again we see it, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. When you look at this verse, it's used, I think, 26 times, almost every time. Within the very verse, you can see that it is a prophet speaking the word. That is where this word reo is used, in prophets speaking the word. There are a couple of verses where you may say it's not a prophet, it's talking about something different, but I think that if you look at it closer, you will see it's also talking about the word of God somewhere, the word. Most of the verses, within the verse itself, you can see that it is the prophet is speaking the word of God. Reo is spoken. That is what the writing on the wall is. That is what the numbers are. God is speaking to us through the writing on the wall. His word is speaking to us. His word is warning us with a sign of fire for this generation, the writing on the wall for us, here and now. We will continue to see more examples of the writing on the wall. This, the interpretation of the thing. Mene, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Let's go on to the next verse. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. God hath numbered this kingdom and finished it. This, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. How? How is this kingdom found wanting? Wanting. H2627, it's chasir. It means lacking, wanting, deficient. How is this kingdom deficient? This kingdom is numbered. H2627 is numbered with G2627. G2627 is the Greek word cataclysmos. Cataclysmos means inundation, deluge, and it is translated flood. It is Noah's flood. Now let's see where that word occurs. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So the writing is on the wall, says the deficiency, the deficit is the flood. The flood, those words are connected by the number. God hath numbered this kingdom, and we will see that there is indeed a flood on the land, and the people, the nation, the generation has been carried away of the flood, and you can see it all around us because the writing is on the wall, and God hath numbered this kingdom. The people of the last days have been swept away. They have been carried away of the flood of microwaves, radio waves, the flood of wireless technology that has spread images and ideas, sights and sounds across the globe. This is the flood that has carried away the generation, and we see it. We see that writing on the wall. Those radio waves are produced by electricity. So let's look at that word, electricity. Electricity. The Hebrew word, well, before I get to there, electricity. Waves. Waves are produced. Electromagnetic waves are produced by electricity. As the electricity moves through the wire, an electromagnetic wave is generated. It is generated in a certain direction depending on the direction that the electricity is flowing. That is how we produce our radio waves, our microwaves, is we have an antenna and just switch the polarity back and forth with a certain pattern so that we can encode our images, our sounds, our data through the waves. This is produced by electricity. By electricity actually produces the waves. So let's look at the word. The Hebrew word for electricity is chashmal. Chashmal is H2830. This word appears in the Bible and it is translated amber. Amber. This kingdom is numbered. H2830 is numbered with G2830. The modern Hebrew word for electricity, H2830, is numbered with G2830. G2830 is Kleidon. Kleidon occurs 2 times where it is translated raging and wave. You could see that the writing is on the wall. All these signs, all these clues, all these proofs point to the last days being the raging waves, the raging waves of the sea, the flood before the coming of the Son of Man. This is the writing on the wall, and it is calling out the raging waves created by electricity. You can see it, the writing is on the wall. All this technology, the electrical system, the wireless system, it is the vine that the people of the last days have chosen. They have built their own vine. They have not chosen the true vine, the vine of Christ. They have not become the branches in the true vine, producing fruit from the true vine. They instead have created their own vine, the vine of Sodom and the fields of Gomorrah. For their vine, of the vine of Sodom, the electrical system, for their vine, of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah, the electromagnetic fields. That is their vine, of the vine of Sodom and of the fields of Gomorrah. Gomorrah. Gomorrah is G1116. This is the Greek word Gomorrah, G1116. It means submersion, submersion. And this land is submerged in the radio waves, the microwaves, stacked up into the heavens. This world, this nation, these people in the last day are submerged, and this kingdom is numbered. H1116 is numbered with Gomorrah, and that word is Bama. Bama is an occultic platform for idolatrous worship. That's what that word means. It is translated high place, heights, and even one time waves. That's right, it is translated waves. The fields of Gomorrah are the microwaves, the radio waves manipulated to encode our images and sounds and data. Those are the fields of Gomorrah. And you can see the writing on the wall. It is numbered. High place, heights, the satellite system, and waves. These are the fields of Gomorrah. And the vine of Sodom is the electrical wiring, the vine of Sodom, and then the microwave, the radio waves that is produced by the electricity, the fields of Gomorrah. And you can see the first usage of the word Bama, and you can see where this is going. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you. This is the end result of building up a system of idolatry. The writing is on the wall, and we can see that the Word of God is speaking in parables, and these parables fit perfectly to our day and age. The people are like an ocean, and they are foaming out their own shame with their devices, with their microwaves, with their Wi-Fi, just foaming out their own shame all over the place. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Just put this in the context of the raging waves and the people. The people just foam out their own shame. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. You see, this fits together so clearly. Raging waves of the sea, literally foaming out their own shame. wandering stars. We even call them stars, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. We see this, the writing on the wall. Now let's look even closer at the numbers. So we've seen how these verses fit our time. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Let's look at the word raging. Raging, G66, agrios. It is living or growing in the fields or woods, the fields of Gomorrah. Raging, waves, agrios. This is numbered. G66 is numbered with H66, which is Abel Mayim. Abel Mayim is a name meaning meadow of waters. Another synonym for meadow is field. Again, pointing to the fact that the fields of Gomorrah are the wireless signals. The vine of Sodom is the electrical system. Raging waves of the sea. The people are foaming out their own shame by raging waves. Again, meadow of waters, living or growing in the fields or woods. This is just one clue of many, one proof of many that this is indeed what the word is talking about. Our time, our technology, our kingdom. Continuing with the same verse, even more proofs that the writing is on the wall for our generation. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Let's look at the word waves. The word waves is G2949. It is kaima, the Greek word kaima. It means wave. G2949 is numbered with H2949. This kingdom is numbered because H2949 is the word tapuch. Tapuch means span long. It is translated span long. It has to do with holding of children, holding a child, nursing along the length of your arm. It's a figure of speech indicating they're nursing. They're along the span of the arm. It comes from tapach, to extend, spread out, span. This word, it is translated span long in the King James. The word tapuch means span. Waves are numbered. 2949 is numbered with span. Span. How do we measure our waves? How do we measure the microwaves, the radio waves? How do we use them? Span, waves, wavelengths, waves, span, the length to spread out. This is the writing on the wall. Time and time again, the word of God through his prophets with the numbers are showing us that this kingdom that we live in right now is numbered. The writing is on the wall. The waves are numbered with span, length. That is how we manipulate the waves. That is how we put the waves out there. We use certain lengths, certain wavelengths, wave span, wave span. You could look this up yourself. This is what the word says. This is the writing on the wall. This has been there for a long time, since James Strong made the Strong's Concordance in the 1890s. It has been sitting here long before we learned how to make radios and television and all the devices we have now. The Word of God has framed the last days, has framed this world, and now this world, through the passage of time, has fulfilled the Word of God. And we can look at the Word, look at the walls around us, and see that indeed the writing is on the wall for our time. And this, the writing that was written, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin, this, the interpretation of the thing, Mene, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. We see it. God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. We see that, weighed in the balances and art found wanting, which is numbered with flood. And we see the flood around us, the flood of waves, the flood of electromagnetic waves carrying images, sounds against the Most High. We see it all around us. We see it every day. Thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Having seen this, will we understand? Having known this, will we perceive the writing on the wall for us?